Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. New baseboards. I'll explain. So, I think I need to do some explaining, because why on earth am I stood next to blue walls with some fresh boards? And why am I not in the loft? I mean, that's where the railway is, right? Well, no, because I've moved house. And so now, the railway room is the bedroom. I've moved house to Keithy, which is great, and you've already seen a lot more videos of the Keithy Valley because of that. So yeah, the main focus of this video, of course, is going to be track laying, as you're probably told by the title. So, track laying, probably one of the most interesting parts of building model railway, and I finally got to this stage. It's been quite a long time building the boards, but I didn't film that unfortunately. So anyway, because I'm using my bedroom as the railway room, the railway is quite thin, and because I want to do full loop, as is conventional with a model railway, there have to be very sharp curves at either end. There's one at this end and one behind the camera at the other end. And as you can see, I have a bit of track out, and the first step in this track laying process will be to work out the clearances between the outer track and the wall. Now that's where this coach comes in, because I'm going to use the coach to work out how far it leans from the edge of the track, to work out how close I can get the track to the wall without the coach having problems and fouling the wall. Okay, so what we have here is a section of track that will be running at the back of the layout against this wall. Against this wall. And obviously the first important thing when we're thinking about this piece of track is how close can we get it to the wall without rolling stock hitting it? Because obviously if the rolling stock hit it, then there's going to be a problem. So I have a coach here, which I'm going to put on the tracks now, excuse the arm, and we're going to see whether, when it's right against the wall, whether the coach is going to hit the wall as it comes around the track. So I'm pushing it around, and there we go. It's stuck, it's hit the wall. Now, what we're going to do about that, we're going to have to bring this track out a bit, just out, so it's not quite as close to the wall. Now if we run it, it'll run straight through. But if we put it back to where the coach leans around, we get a pencil, there's less than a pencil space between the edge of the coach and the wall, which isn't a lot of space, but it will work in this situation. So I'm now going to remove the coach and the piece of track, and where I've left the pencil mark, I will now draw in a straight line which tells me how close the track can get to the wall. I'm using a regular piece of 2x1 wood here, because really it's just a long ruler, isn't it? I'm just dragging the pencil along. Perfect. Now that we've got that section of the track sorted, our next big, step really, is for me to introduce the prototype that we are basing the model railway off. So this is about 2 days worth of progress so far, and we have the junction at the far end, which is looking a little bit precarious. The juggle on the top of my speaker there. Moving on, we've then got the engine siding, which the Jubilee's sat in at the moment, and then leading on, we've got the tracks with all the platform faces. Obviously, the platforms are going in these big gaps here. We've then got platforms number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this siding on the side would have gone to the goods yard for the downside, but obviously I'm not modelling that. Here we've then got the timber sidings. The rest of the sidings on the upside is what I'm going to be working on next. We've then got, but yeah, that's most of it done. As you can see, there's rather an array of track going on. The one thing I'm not quite sure about is how this line kind of veers away to the right a bit when really it's supposed to stick along with the line with the coach on. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, because obviously this line is connected to that point, which is a bit of a problem. So what I might do is have this line curve round more uniformly with that one to make it look a bit better, but we'll have a look. We'll see. So I appreciate that last little bit of time that's so short. It's because of this little section. So it's at the end of the platform, and yeah, in between the platform and this siding, which the Jubilee is currently not occupied. And so the issue is that I need a point in here, so then create 2 lines going off this way. I've also realised I'm in short supply of left-hand points like this. So what I'm going to have to do is cut off some of these bits, some of kind of there, just to make the point shorter and allow for me to put some curve so that there's enough space for this to work. I'll quickly show you a picture of how it's supposed to look. So here we are. What we've got now is 2 points, which I can't pick up. Start that again. So here we are. We'll be using this little bit of space, so I'm just going to move the signal box. I say signal box, it's really a temporary signal box, out of the way. Now these are the 2 points that I shall be working on. I'll be showing you one of them because the technique is the same on any piece of track, whether it's a point or just, you know, a piece of set track. So what I will be doing is taking off the first couple of sleepers worth of rail, and that is so that I can start to get a curve as soon as the point ends. So I can have something like this. See how that's curving, that'll curve straight off, which is what I'm looking for in the space between the platform and the loco siding, where there is not a lot of space at all, and this just saves me scratch building points, which I definitely do not have the experience for. So I agree, some of the track around this is going to be a bit confusing, but this is the point that we're working on. So I'm going to take the hacksaw, I'm just going to do some gentle strokes. I need to keep it at the edge of the board. Now, what's very important when you're doing this is that you support the rails, because basically the blade is dragging the rail out of the chairs, and you don't want that to happen at any point. So you want to be holding the rail to stop it from moving and damaging the plastic chairs, which, as you can imagine, them being plastic, are quite fragile. Now I've got a decent grip, I'm going to start doing longer strokes. This will cut it quicker. Whilst I would move up and down, this is not a great blade, I don't think. However, it does the job. So just keep supporting those rails. Eventually you'll get through. There we are, I'm through. I'm going to do the same on the rail just there, but I won't film that because it is exactly the same process. So with the magic of editing, here we are. And as you can see, the rails are now cut. So I'll turn the point upside down and we're just going to cut the webbing, which will release the offcut. So I'm just going to do strokes along this way. And I've got to say, cutting plastic is a lot easier than cutting through the metal of the rail. And there we are. What we have left is a piece of track, and that is clearly shorter. So now looking down at the track, we've got the logo starting out of shot, but these are the two sets of points that I want to be focusing on. I'll just move this one out of the way. And so, as you saw, I have trimmed down this point, so that root, you could say, ends here, and so that's going to join onto there and allow for this curve to carry on, to then perfectly flow into this point, which I'll just put some small piece of track back there, and that'll be working. So just need to do a bit of trimming, and that should be a much more prototypical look. As you've just seen, I've just been marking out where the track bed is using a pencil, and that's so that I can lift out the piece of board, cut out where the track bed is, and then pop it straight back in on some raised bits of timber. Now currently the bit of board is being supported by these drawers, but that's just as a temporary measure, and they'll go back in there in a minute. But yeah, it's time to do a bit of jigsawing. in my room, and the track bed is complete now, as you can see. I'm about to remove these sets of drawers, put them back where they're supposed to be, and I will then move on to cutting up some supports to go under this thing permanently. Most of the track work's done now, all of it in the scenic section. There's a little bit behind there, and of course at some point I need to get around to filling this void, but that'll be for another video. So let's crack on. So the support is in place, but I have noticed that the join between the main bit of board and this track bed is sagging a bit. So I'll probably put another leg here as well, just to keep that supported. So what I just need to do now is drill some holes in to attach this to the main frame, because at the moment it's just kind of sat on some polystyrene and a bit of wood. So as you can see, that is pretty much all of the track laid and also supported, and that is practically the end of the video. It's been good fun building this, and hope to see you in the next one.